Hello and welcome to Chess Books 121. Today we're going to take a slight holiday from the mainstream and talk about chess stamps. Chess stamps is hardly a plentiful topic, and I should explain that I haven't collected stamps seriously for over 50 years. I haven't collected stamps for over 50 years. I used to be a keen collector when I was 12 or 11 or something like that, and then I gave up to do other things like chess. Basically, I must remember to look at the camera, otherwise Brendan O'Gorman will tell me off. Basically, the first chess stamps, commemorative stamps, came out in 1947, just after the Second World War, but there was mention on postmarks commemoration as long ago as 1927 with the Alekhine Capablanca match in Buenos Aires. Now, I've got some stamps to show you. I'm told by Dr. Upham, an expert on all matters, as you know, that most of these are forgeries. Well, I don't mind if they are. They have no philatelic value. I just rather like them. Now, the question is, can I get them to switch onto the camera? I think I can. All right, so look along the top row. We see Lasker. We see Lasker. There he is. And underneath it, we see Steinitz. Now, I've looked at these various board positions they're showing, and most of them I can't work out what it is, but you might have some fun working it out for yourself. And as we go down lower, picture of Morphy, of course, Morphy, and Anderson, and Philidor. There we are with the wig on. See? This is on the left. That's quite good, isn't it? Over the pages, you can see Cuba has gone loop-the-loop. Something's just fallen out. Cuba has gone loop-the-loop as Capablanca's birthplace in 1888 and done nothing but bring out stamps to commemorate it. Dear boy. Let's have a look. There we are. Capablanca with a large head. Capablanca was a little boy playing his with a boater on. Playing his, presumably was Corso or maybe his father, I don't know. All fairly well-known poses. And then Rubinstein on the next line. And then Alekhine, 3 with Alekhine on it. These were those countries even less well-known than Alekhine. République du Bénin. I don't know where that is. I'm sure someone will enjoy telling me. There, look, that's rather good, isn't it? See? 270 francs, or 27 francs, and 9 centimes, not certain which. Here is Retti's game against Alekhine, 1925, on the board. At a postmark, obviously, obscures some of it, but that's stamps, isn't it? That's stamps itself. Just slip this back in here if I can manage it. If I can't manage it, I'll just stay on the desk, but I think I can manage it. Yes, I can manage it. Now, those were specific champions. These are not specific champions. These are just chess in general. In most cases, not all. This doesn't convey very much to you, but conveys a little. There you are. Look. Here's a very complex one. Just in the Middle Ages, I'm sure. This was published in 1984. There we are. You can see the two ladies looking on, or three ladies looking on actually, and the board, which I expect is run the wrong way. This is from Le Havre, French, 1966, I think. Larson, Berger, and various other players. Unlike most of these, which came from the same source, which is a packet of stamps. Most of these came from the Salisbury stamp shop, but I'm not sure this did. And you can see it's postmarked with a roundel, I think it's called. I'll show you another in that set. This is for 60 centimes. Before everyone apart from England went over to euros. You can see the knight in the middle and the king and queen at the top. Now here's something rather, they've done us proud here. The World Chess Championships of 1992. Fischer's swan song. It was Paski's as well, I suppose. Yes, it was Paski's. In Korea. And there are the two older grandmasters. There's a globe at the back and some text in Russian. Yes, not very thrilling, but nevertheless, it's a record, isn't it? And here's a stamp with actually probably commemoration of Fee Day. This is Russian, post CCCP. See that? You can see the crown and the knight in the globe. And the bloke on the horse at the bottom. There we are. Once again, that just generates a little interest, doesn't it? And here's a rather bland one, but nevertheless colourful. This is Vietnamese. It might surprise you to know that Vietnam has quite a few good players. Quite a few. Here's the one, the design which we nearly always see on things about Caxton. There we are. This is Hungarian. Magyar Posta. Or Magyar Posta. Yes, that's better. There we are. Right. Another one of Boris Spassky. There's Boris. It's quite a good likeness as well. Some of them aren't, but I think that's pretty good. And the Cyrillic underneath. Now this is an example of just taking a chess man with seemingly no apparent reason. This is an Afghanistan stamp and a chess board. There's an ornate chess piece. Standing looking proud. I don't suppose there's ever been anything exciting happening chess-wise in Afghanistan. I do hope I'm wrong, but I don't think there has been. Anyway, there we are. That's an example of, I suppose you could say it's exploitation, but it's a bit of a strong word. But you will know what I mean. This is rather good. It's an attempt to do notation. Pawn 4R. In other words, pawn to king 4. The R is Ray, isn't it? But I'm not really sure. I mean, the stamp design itself, taking away the P4R, is fine. Very good. Obviously, I can't read all of the text at the top. I've got a magnifying glass somewhere, but oh yes, here we are. Sahara. RASD. That's for 10 puts. Well, it's a pretty good chessboard. I rather like that. But as I say, the attempt to put notation on it does spoil it. Now here's something of interest. This is a map of Europe, which has been resurrected and imprinted with a chessboard. Once again, it's very hard for you to see that, but it does swim into focus. You can see the rook and the pawn in blue. There we are. Now, here is a proper stamp from Russia. And who is that there? It is, of course, Paul Petrovich Keres, the great Keres, a very great Keres. Here's another French one, I think. Oh, no, it's Russian. I do apologize. Commemorating a match. You see the two knights locking horns. There we are. And here, in a similar series as the one I showed you earlier, is known as a personage. Mr. Anatoly Karpov. Now, Karpov himself is a very well-known stamp collector. And I can't help thinking he would have scrutinized these more than a lot. I think this is, I don't know. I think this is Karpov's game against, I was going to say Unziker in Nice 74. But I don't know. Here's quite a jolly one with the king. Royal Cambridge Post. It shows how the king moves. That's sort of beginners. There we are. You can see the king on the board and the arrows where it can move to legally. I like that. It's good. And here's the Empire State Building and Paris 90. There we are. It's not a French stamp, but it is obviously primarily Parisian. Cigarette card, seemingly out of place, of Sir George Thomas. There he is, giving a symbol. This is number 34 in the Turf cigarette series, Sports Records. I think that's rather good. I like that. There are other cigarette cards with chess on it, but I haven't got any of them. Here's an interesting one. I think you know this guy, Mr. Garrick Weinstein, known to you and me as good old Gaza. 1986. And here, unlike most of the stamp I've shown you, is a proper stamp with Tigran Patrician on the cover, on the stamp, and probably the House of Petrosian underneath it, which hopefully is still ticking on now. I don't know, but perhaps somebody can tell me. But I would think it is. I would think it is. Chess has never been more popular. And here's Smyslov. He's recognizable as Smyslov. It's not just blobbed in a series of FAC World Champions. Right, I'll skip ahead. Oh, here's an interesting one. This was for the Karpov-Kasparov match, I think. A Russian one. You can see the FIDE logo in red, and the CCCP, and the 3 chess pieces. Center stage. And some text in Cyrillic, which I can't read, but never mind. It's an interesting one. This one's got a middle, a pawn, and a king, and the backdrop of the chessboard, the squares, brown and not so brown. Rather like wallpaper, nothing wrong with that. And finally, a whole page of not very good ones. Oh, down the bottom, Megha Pendishvili, the later world champion for so many years, 20 years or so. She's still alive, giving voice to all her opinions. There she is as a girl. Here's some very ornate chess pieces. But rather charming, I think. There we are. Au public. There we are. I can even hold it still. And finally, to conclude. We are back with Caxton and a Hungarian stamp, Magyar Posta, there with the knight in the center. Well, this has been Chess Books 121. Please like and subscribe down below. And in return, I promise never to show you chess stamps again. Philately will get you nowhere. Goodbye.